So today I'll just kind of let you know what I'm planning on doing today. Hi Tina, I am going to show you some of the monthly subscriptions, but the projects that I'm going to make today are going to be made with the stamp set and die set that is featured in our inspiration box. It is Lovely Ladybugs. I'm sure that you've probably started to see some projects popping up on the Brutus Monroe channel, or not channel, but well, probably the channel too, but the YouTube channel, the Instagram, the Facebook page. Okay, so I'll show you a few things that, as a kind of a review. Oh, thank you, Ben. Ben brought me my tablet, so I'll know for sure if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so move this over just a little bit.
Robin says hi.
Hi, Robin. Okay, so this is the stencil of the month. I did show you this last week. This is called Delicate Floral. Okay, I'll show you. These are the dies of the month. These are the Love Bug dies. Okay, so now this is what we're here for right now. This is what we're going to feature today. This is Lovely Ladybugs. As Christopher said, there are only 9 left, so hop on and grab it if you don't already have it. This box is one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to move some things around so you don't see the stamp set first, because that's kind of like the surprise. You know what I'm saying? So we'll start, let's just pull everything out. We'll start with the cardstock, since that beautiful green glitter stock is sparkling. Okay, so every inspiration box always will include a piece of glitter stock, and Brutus Monroe glitter stock is the best. I am telling you, I have not found any that I like better at all. So these are the colors of cardstock. This is a layering cardstock that comes with your inspiration box. And you can see you've got these are extremely important in a Ladybug box, huh? Okay, so let's set those aside. And then one really fun thing is that Brutus Monroe has a paper collection that coordinates with the box each time that there's an inspiration box. This one is called Lovely Ladybugs, of course, because that is the name of the inspiration box. And it comes with 6 patterns, and you get 2 of each. So I want to just show you really quick the 6 patterns. Super cute. Okay, so these are the conversation clippings, and these are one of my favorite things that you can expect to see in your inspiration box. They have all of these different sayings. This one's got Ladybug blessings, hello friend, bugs and kisses, sorry you caught a bug. I think that's really cute. Get well soon. Be kind. There's all kinds. I won't read all of them to you, but you get them in both the white and the black. And these are printed, these and the cards that I'm about to show you are printed with toner ink. So that does make them work with foiling, with heat foiling. Let me show you the card panels. You've got 2 each of all of the designs again. So you've got these cute ladybugs. I love that. And then you've got this one that's really fun, especially if you like to color, and I'm one of those people who loves to color. This is a really fun one. That one just inspires me to want to just grab my markers and my pencils and just go for it. And then this one we're actually going to use today. This is really just a fun, cute print. And then you've got these cute bees. Okay, and you get 2 each of those. And then we've got these really cute sequins. And one of the things that I love about them is that they come in, you've got 3 different sizes in there. So the kind of creamy white color is the biggest one, and then the black is the medium size, and then the little red ones are this little tiny size. I don't know, I kind of have a bonus one. I'm not sure. That could have come from anything though, because I've been creating a lot in here this week. But anyway, these are just really fun, and look, you get 5 ounces. You're never going to run out. And then also one of my favorite things is the ribbon. Anyone who's watched my lives very many times knows that I love the inspiration box ribbon. And you get 1 yard per color, 3 different colors. We'll probably use some of that today. And then you get the card bases, which are really, really, really convenient and really nice. They're a nice heavy weight. They're 100 pound and they fold over perfectly. And I love them. Let's go to the main feature now, which is the stamp set and the coordinating dies. So these ones are called Lovely Ladybug, and look how cute these little characters are. And there are 40 stamps in this set. 40 stamps. And they are so much fun to play with. I'm telling you, the design team has been having a heyday because they are just so cute and so much fun. Even people who don't typically like to color have been saying, oh, I just can't stop coloring these because they're just so fun. And they're not really, you know, there's not extensive coloring. If you're not a big fan of coloring, you know, you could even stamp them on paper and do some paper piecing if you want to color that way. Lots of options, but this is the set and we are going to use that right now. So let's move on and just head right into our projects. What do you say? Okay, so I wanted to set the paper aside. Remember I showed you this paper that is in the inspiration box? We are going to cut that down. And we are going to cut little hexagons in that. Are they hexagons when it's however many sides this is?
Yeah, hexagon 6.
Okay, so what I did was I just followed the shape, and you can just look, if you're not sure, look at this and it'll kind of help you know where you need to cut. So you can see I can kind of put them back and you can kind of see what I did. So I've got one here on the side.
I'll get links up as soon as I can.
Darren will be getting the links up as soon as he can. He just, he had to get the computer to cooperate with them, and thankfully it is now. But anyway, you can kind of see, they're not going to be right next to each other. You're going to cut them apart. But the funny thing is I just happened to have a die set that was the same size. So if you do not have a die set, look, exactly the same size. If you do not have a die set, it's okay. You can just take your, once you've got one, just use that to cut out more, okay? So we're just going to make a little pattern on our card panel, and this card is going to be really quick. So let me just grab my tissue tape or easy tear tape, and we're going to start right on the bottom. And you can see I have one that's got kind of a funny thing out of it, and that's okay because it's going to end up being on the side, so it's not a problem. Okay, so then we'll just kind of line that up, space them about like that. I do like a little bit of a space between them, and I'm eyeballing it. I'm not like trying to measure it exact. So now, when we do this last one, we'll just cut off the excess. And we'll probably just do them all at once because we're going to have excess on all of them. So we'll just cut down that side all at one time. So now, we'll start adding these yellow ones. I've got some darker yellow and some lighter yellow. I just kind of raided my scraps box. Kind of try to space it the same. Okay, Darren will put up a link and it'll take you to everything that I used, okay? So rather than putting up all of the links individually, he'll just put up one link that you can click on and it'll give you everything you need. Now I'll tell you that this tape, if you have it on there very long, if you don't need to move it, don't move it because it sticks really, really well. It's a good thing, but it's a tricky thing if you make a mistake. And like I said, all you need to do is get the initial pattern, cut one from that, and then if you don't have a die the same size, then you can just use that as your guide. All right, that's gonna have to do. Okay, so now we have all of this hanging over. We don't want all of that. So we're gonna cut that off. Hopefully I get it close enough without cutting where I don't want to cut. These last little guys, we have one more to get and we're good. And you can save all of these if you're going to make more than one card, but if you're like me, I can just get overwhelmed by scraps. So I will likely just throw them right in the trash. Buy them a little bit. Okay, I think that's pretty close. We're good with that. So now I just cut a mat for it that is 4 and I think it's 4.5, 4 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. So this one must be 4. So our little white square was 4 inches. Our black mat is 4 1/4. And then I cut a card base at 4 1/2. So look how cute that is already. And there's not even, the bee isn't even on there yet. So let's just get that all put together. I'm going to move this over for a minute. I hope I'm not off camera, but I kind of need the white background so I can see if I'm close to centered anyway.
You're good. You're on camera.
Thanks, Darren. Okay. So we've got that little guy on there. So now we can, I want to add just a little bit of twine. I just kind of have a thing for it. I think just a little bit of twine just finishes a card off really well without really interfering with the design too much. I think that's what I like about it. I always find it just a little tricky to keep the tension on your bow while you're trying to knot it. But I think that will do. Okay, so I'm just going to trim up my twine a little bit. And then there is something I want to add to our little bee for fun. I just have to find it. So I also stamped him on vellum because I thought it would be fun to just use the wings. So I'm just going to cut the bee part off. So for this, I am fussy cutting. Right along is all the lines. One thing I like about, if you're not a big fussy cutting kind of fan, one nice thing about this is that it's just not a huge detail. It's just a little bit of cutting, and vellum cuts like butter. But we'll just add that little detail, and I think we could even kind of bend it up a little bit, just so that we get a little bit more dimension. So I'm just going to glue that right along. Let's move the card out of the way. Right along the line. So as little glue as you can get away with. I kind of squeeze it and then I just let go so that it doesn't keep squeezing. Does that make sense? But I use the tip to kind of spread it out. Whoops, almost put it on wrong. Okay. And flatten it out long enough for me to get it on there. And then I'm not gonna glue up higher because I want it to, I like the way it's kind of lifting. See that? So it makes it look more like wings.
Vellum would look great also.
What was that?
Robin said pearlescent vellum would look good too.
Oh, that would look good. Pearlescent vellum would look really good. Okay, so definitely this bee needs a little pop. We want him to pop up off the card a little bit.
Michelle says she's busy. They got unexpected snow in Pittsburgh today.
Oh, fun stuff. Snow in
It.
Pittsburgh again. Huh?
She's over it.
I bet. I know. This time of year, I think we're all starting to get ready for spring. Okay, so now we can add him to our card base.
Jasmine says hi.
Who said that?
Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. Now, in this case, I would put a foam square in the middle. Who did?
Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Okay, so these are the sequins. We're going to grab some of the black ones.
Jackie said, love this card. It's adorable.
It's such a fun, it was so easy. Just such a fun set to work with. Oh, we need our sentiment, don't we? I was going to grab one of our conversation clippings for this one. I think we should use one of the bee ones. What do you guys think? So we've got, we belong together. We've got Be Mine. Let's see which ones are strictly bee. Be Kind. We can use those, or we can even use just, I do a lot of hello cards just because sometimes I just like to send a card just for the sake of sending a card. I just wanted to bug you. That's cute. Let's do that one. I like that one.
Cute as a bug works too.
Cute as a bug does work. There's tons of cute sentiments in this. And I'll show you, I think I've shown you before. This is what I keep all mine in. I'll have to cut them down more than what I'm going to do here right now. But this is just a little gum container. And once my gum is gone, this is what I like to store my conversation clippings in.
And they smell minty.
Yeah, and they're minty fresh too. All right. Okay, I love that. Okay, that will work there. So we'll add our sentiment. And I think the tape might be narrow enough. Yeah, I think it is.
Donna says the bee is adorable.
It is a really cute bee. I colored it ahead of time just because I wanted to make 2 cards with you guys today. And
Michelle said that's perfect.
so I thought that could work. I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more. And we just need to glue our sequins on there, huh? Okay. So let's do a couple over here. All right, so there's our first card. Just stick my pin in here so I don't lose it. And we'll move on to our next card, which has our Ladybugs. So on this one, we're actually going to do a tag. I just thought I should do a tag today. So the jumbo tags are one of my favorite Burgess Monroe products. They're just this nice big canvas to work with. And sometimes you just, you know, when you want to mix things up, it's nice because it can be a card or you can attach it to a gift or whatever you want. It's nice big size. There's definitely plenty of room to work with. So I'm also using, this is the Rainbow Dot Slimline paper, which is another one of my favorites. So I hope you will forgive me because I have done this next thing before, but I really felt like this project was just calling for it. So we're going to take our swatch dots. So these are the Burgess Monroe swatch dots. These are meant for, they're double-sided. So it's got the release tape on the bottom and the top. And you can get your embossing powders, and you can, like, you just take the top layer off, you'd put your embossing powder on, you'd heat it up, and then you could put that on the bottom of your embossing. So you could put it on the bottom of your jar, and you'd be like, oh, okay, that's what it looks like when it's heated. But I use them all the time for all kinds of things because I just think they're fun. So I thought we needed some polka dots for this tag for our ladybugs. So I'm going to quickly peel these off, and we'll just do them all at once. Okay, so we're just going to stick them directly on to our project, just because I'm having a hard time getting them to peel because I'm live. If I was just sitting casual,
You use your bone folder to take them apart.
you know, I could. I probably should. I think it's mostly just because I'm nervous or something. I don't know. I do these things. Can't handle the pressure. Or something. I don't know. Oh, who knows? Okay, so we'll just peel all of that off. And I think I'm going to go ahead and cut down our stickers a little bit first. Otherwise, I think we might have a embossing powder mess. So we're just going to... Then you can use the other sides if you want to do just like halves. But this part's mostly going to be covered up, so I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, so now I just need to grab my little tray. Okay. So I keep a tray for my black and one for my white because I use those ones the most. Not necessary, it's just what I do. All right, so now the rest of this should go pretty quick. Now that they have something to stick to, they're not coming back up. And our last little guy.
Tina said we love you, Shannon.
Oh, Tina, I love you too.
Donna agreed.
Oh, I love you guys. All right, so if you're worried about this, I'm not really sure if it's even going to be an issue, but just to be safe, we'll just kind of flatten it out a little bit with our bone folder. Though I'm not sure if that's really better or not because it kind of sticks to it so much you might end up peeling it back off. So do what you feel. Try it out. What works for you. So now we've got all of that ready. We can finally take our Raven embossing powder and we can apply that. And I usually just kind of let the whole jar fall in there and then I just put it all back in the jar. So one more thing.
Theresa says hello.
Hi, Theresa. I do want to get that little spot right there. Okay, I believe we have it. So now we'll just take our heat tool and heat that up. And I just, if you can see this, there's just a couple little spots where there's some embossing powder where I don't want it. So I just take a clean paintbrush, like a nice fine tipped one. Okay, so we got that off. No big deal. So you can see it's starting to change. The magic is happening. Okay, so now with that, you saw how easy that was. With that, we have this fun background. I'm just gonna make sure I heated everything. I think I did. I think we're good now. I hope you can hear me now that I have that turned off. I know it's hard to hear over that sometimes. Now you notice I didn't do a lot in the center, and that's because we'll have something else going on there. So let's go ahead and I have to do one thing that's driving me crazy. I spilled a little bit of the embossing powder and I can feel it and it's just annoying me. So now That is much better. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and adhere some of this to our tag so we can get some of the little pieces out of our face. So I'm just gonna line the first one up to the bottom of the tag. Simple enough. And then we'll just take this other little guy. And I'm going to put this one a little bit lower than the hole. So I'm not sure if I want that at the top or at the bottom. So I'll show you what we have to work with here. So I cut just a little piece of white, and then I just cut a frame, and I just used our foundation squares to make both of those. And I think rather than put it right on top of the other one, I kind of want to have it be askew. So I just need to kind of decide. Maybe like that, I don't know. Let's put this on first so that we can keep that steady. Okay, so we'll put this about, I think about right here. Still debating. I think I'm gonna put that on the bottom. Okay, so we've got that on there, and now we can go on to the next part, and it'll be easier to kind of line that up. And I don't want them to be super askew, but maybe just a little bit. Let's see, let's just kind of set things up and see if we still like it that way. I may change my mind, you know how it is. Right in the middle of creating, sometimes you just go, maybe not. So we've got these adorable little ladybugs. And I went ahead and already colored those. And I used Tri-Blend on these ladybugs. Darren put the colors in the links. And then I used these little leaves that are in our little set, and the dies are in the set. And then I used this little flower from the set. I should have 3 of those. Oh, do you know what? I didn't show you something. It's sitting right here. This is also in the inspiration kit. This is the Black Easy Squeeze glue. And we're actually going to use this for the flower centers. I'm glad I saw that because it had rolled away when I was showing you everything else. Oh, now I just messed everything up, didn't I? There we go. So we've got also these little leaves. These are from the Fabulous Florals die set. And I kind of like mixing stamps and dies together. I think it just adds kind of a fun element. So I just did a couple of those little ones too. Okay, so let's get this on here. Maybe if we put it this way. I was still kind of playing with the, maybe we'll put the white one straight and just move the black one a little bit. Okay, let's get that on there, and now we'll hurry and get this on here. I think we're gonna need the glue because I don't think our tape is narrow enough to, if it is, I don't have the patience to make it fit on there. Glue is nice when you're just kind of wanting to keep moving, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so now I'm just gonna replace my pin. And this glue, by the way, this is the Barely Art glue, which we do carry on the Brutus Monroe site, and I highly recommend it. So now they're both kind of askew. I kind of like that. All right, kind of cleaning out my die a little bit. So now we can kind of build a little arrangement in in this corner if we want. I think we'll put this little guy in here. We'll probably need to put him on first, but I'm just kind of making sure that I like how we're putting it together. And they're sharing that little heart. Maybe we'll put it kind of behind both of their front hands. And then we can add some more of our little doodahs. That is a technical term, by the way. Over in our other corner. That one's got 6, that one's got 4. I like one of them to be an odd and one to be an even. So I think that's what we'll end up with. Okay, so let's get this assembled. So first thing I'm gonna do is put some foam on our little bugs. We want them to pop up a little bit. And hopefully, let me see if that's spaced very well. Before I push it down yet, I think that will work. We almost don't have to put anything on that heart because it...
Yeah, you asked to color and die cut beforehand?
I did. And I used tri-blend markers on these little guys. Yeah, when I show the inspiration box, it takes a couple extra minutes, so I just wanted to make sure we had plenty of time. And so now let's just add our little, I'm going to use glue dots for these. And everything is in the links. So if you're wondering about it, the only thing I did color the bee using Copic markers. So those will not be listed. But any alcohol markers should be fine. Whatever you've got in your collection.
What color did you use in Ladybug Face?
I used the Fair Skin Blend for the Ladybug face. So we almost have it. We are going to use our glue to make little centers for our white flowers. We might move that guy. Oh no, it looks better down there. We'll just move it over to the side a little bit. That'll work. Okay, so now we're going to take this black glue and we are going to make little centers.
Candy said, and use the sticky patches with the embossing powder, right?
Correct. I did use the swatch dots. And you can make your centers as big or as little as you want. Kind of want a bigger one there. Just don't squeeze too fast. Just kind of let it come out and then just lift straight up. And you've got your little flower centers. And I think we may as well look and see what we think about a couple of sequins in there. I think we may want to add just a little bit. These are really tiny. So it does make a cool effect if you want to use the black glue with the sequins. But where I've got them for the centers, I'm going to just use my Barely Art glue. These ones are so small, I'm kind of afraid to use the black with them just because I don't think I have a steady hand for that. It's probably just fine though, but this does dry clear, so if I get too much. So another tricky thing, you can use your pin from your Barely Art glue to kind of help you place your sequins. Sometimes I'll just stick it right in the hole so I can move it if I need to. And then you can use the ball on the other end to kind of push it down. We have almost got it. We have this last little... Oh, somehow I got that glue on me. We're going to have to do some embellishing here. We'll have to put the sentiment somewhere over that little piece I smeared. I smeared right there. We'll have to figure something out, right, guys? All right, so let's see what we want to do there. Because I'm not starting this one over again. All right, so we've got all of these cute little things. We could put a sequin there, but I think that we could maybe make a sentiment work. We'll have to see. But yeah, if we need to, we can put a sequin there. It's not bad with the sequin. Okay, so let's see what we've got. We've got the Hello Friend, which is a nice small one. That could work too. Yeah, that's true. I could use a sand eraser. I'm not even minding the black though. I kind of think the black, I don't usually mix up my colors, but I kind of am liking the black. I think we need one over on this side too though. Maybe right there. Kind of trying to stay away from the flowers now. Okay, so let's do...
Shows that you can't even tell if anything is smeared.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you can't tell. I can see exactly where I did it. But, you know, that's okay. It's made with love anyway, right? What was that?
It's gone now.
For the most part. So yes, be mindful when you use the black glue that you are not using your big clumsy hands where you don't want them to be. All right, so now we just need to add our sentiment, and I think we'll just add that with glue dots. All right, so now I do have one other thing that we need to do, and that's just, I have a little piece of ribbon that I'm gonna just stick through the hole. And I'm actually gonna use both this ribbon and I think the red ribbon that came in the box. This ribbon was just in my stash. So we'll just tie it here. I don't even think I'm gonna tie it this way. I think I'm just gonna slide this one through. Cut it down a little bit. And then let's take some of our red. So now we're just going to take a little bit of our ribbon, and I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to cut it down a little bit because I'll use that other piece another time. I'm just trying to awkwardly. Okay, so we've got it down at the base. Oh, thank you so much, Donna. They're just simple too. They were just easy. They came together really fast. Okay, let's try that again. So I like to keep the shiny side of my satin on both of my loops. And so I kind of rabbit ear it because they just tend to make prettier bows. And then when you're lucky, which I may be lucky today, if there's any kinks, because I didn't take the time to get the kinks out before in my ribbon, I actually have a little hair straightener, like a super cheap one I bought once, that's just tiny that I use for that. But you can even just kind of get it a little bit damp and let it hang off of a clothespin or something. But when you can get it to work into your curves the right way. It's.
Cheryl says it's adorable tag. Sydney says, love it. It's adorable.
Thank you so much.
Cheryl said, I like how you're using a double ribbon combo.
It's a nice way to tie your tags. I think it's kind of a fun way to get more ribbon in there. I'm a big fan of ribbons, so if I can use more, I definitely will.
Use your light for a second. It's washing everything out.
I'm going to turn off one of my lights. We'll see if that helps.
The one to your right.
That one? Is that better?
I'm delayed, so.
Darren says that my lights are
That's the one.
draining things out. Okay, well then I won't use that light.
Everything's so bright. It's like.
So here's the Fair Skin marker. Fair Skin blend. And there is a chance, because this is the older tri-blends, this is what they look like now, that they may have changed the name. So if they did, I apologize. Did you put that in the list, Darren? Or was it available? It was available?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it's called then. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And I will have something new for you next week. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.